Hey everybody in the reggae universe, welcome to A Conversation in Dub, hosted by me, Mark Ramondi.
And me, James Pasqua. This podcast is all about exploring the massive world of reggae and dub music, from its roots in Jamaica to its influence on various music genres worldwide.
This podcast also explores the intricacies of dub through insightful conversations, interviews with artists, and in-depth analysis of iconic tracks. We don't just talk about the music, but also the stories behind it, the techniques used in its production, and the social and political context that shaped its development.
Our goal is to promote mindful listening, taking you, the listener, on the journey the artist intended. Through this process, we hope to introduce you to new music or give you a new insight on music you already know and love.
This podcast is brought to you by Rootfire, a platform for reggae music worldwide with a mission to empower artists and nurture the community that supports them. You're here because you love reggae music and want to be a part of that community. We're here to help connect the dots.
If you have any feedback for us, be sure to email us at aconversationindub@gmail.com or message us on Facebook or Instagram at aconversationindub. We love hearing from you. Now,
let's get to the show.
Hey, buddy, how's it going?
Yo, bro, it is going great, man. I'm excited. We are on a little bit of a roll here when it comes to hanging out and doing these.
We are. So these episodes are being recorded way earlier than they're going up. So by the time this goes up, I don't know, summer might be over already or close to it.
It's true. That's true. But right now, we are in the thick of the season. I'm still on vacation down in South Carolina, which is fantastic.
Must be nice.
So I'm loving that, and I'll tell you, what's crazy is where I'm at right now in South Carolina, it's not even as warm as it is back in New Jersey right now. They're going through a little bit of a heat wave, so I'm glad we escaped that.
Again, what do you know about a heat wave?
I know how to escape it. That's what I know. You are just
by
trapped,
going south? You're crazy.
Crazy. Oh my gosh. But man, I'm pumped because these summer vibes, the only thing that is missing from my day is a little bit of reggae. So I am so excited to get into what we are doing today. So talk me through it, bro.
Well, I have some reggae to deliver, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a first listen for you?
Yes, this is a first listen. I mean, not the artist, but this particular track, This is a first listen.
Yes. So this is exciting. This is a pretty new song. Came out May 31st of this year, 2024. Woo. It is by Sara Lugo and Daman. I hope I'm saying that right. Daman.
It's so funny you say that because I saw that today and I was like, wonder how to pronounce that. So hopefully, yeah, anybody out there, feel free to correct us.
I'm going with it. Sara Lugo and Daman.
I like it.
Please reach out if I'm wrong. The song is called No Competition, and Sara Lugo back at her reggae vibes for this one, so it's a good one. Want to just jump right into it?
I absolutely do. So right now, everybody who is listening, take the chance to jump off with us and take a listen to this song. You can find it on any streaming platform. Give it a listen, put us on pause, and then come right back to us for a breakdown, because we are probably going to throw in some spoilers of what you can expect to listen through in here. But you're also more than welcome to just listen on this straight through, and then when you're done, pop off and listen to this song at the end. But either way, make sure you check it out so that you can be on the same page as us when we break things down. You ready, bro?
Oh yeah, let's do it. The song is called No Competition, Sara Lugo and Daman. That was No Competition by, am I going to say it right this time? Daman and Sara Lugo?
We caught it in there.
Daman. Yeah, Daman. Heard it in the song this time.
I love this track.
Yeah.
That
it reminds me
sick.
of the stuff Sara Lugo kind of used to do before she went more R&B. I'm not dissing any of the R&B, just saying she does more R&B now.
Yeah.
But this is like some of that older stuff, but that new rootsy sound, very punchy, very good. I really like this one.
I'm a huge fan of this. I love the instrumentalization. I think this is a really cool one to talk about the chord structure, because we have another track that the chord progression doesn't change. We have a couple stalls on like a different chord just to kind of create a little bit more tension in some areas. Like I wouldn't necessarily call it like an instrumental bridge part, but it was the moment where the bass is following the vocal. Well, I should say maybe the vocals are just following the bass, and then it breaks it down and they stall on one extra chord before looping it right back into that steady chord progression, which was an awesome moment. was
Yeah.
an absolutely awesome, like I felt that moment in my heart. Like that was so cool. But two chords that we're dealing with here, but awesome instrumentalization that I really want to focus on through this. I'm very curious to know how many keys tracks there are. Because I mean, there's piano,
A
there's
few.
organ, there's synth, there's a texture organ, there's so many, and that speaks to my heartstrings. Being a piano player, I absolutely loved that.
Wait a second. You're a piano player?
Oh yeah, they don't know. They don't know. I don't think they know. Maybe
Get
they should.
out
You
of
guys,
here.
guys, if you haven't heard before, you should check out our intro song. It's actually on all streaming platforms. And yes, I did do keys on that, which is just a
You
little
did?
selfless plug there. But yes, aside from that, the
Okay.
keys stick out to me. They always do, and I love what's happening here because this is one of the It's pretty synth heavy, and it's busy. It's synth and keyboard busy, but at the same time, not detracting whatsoever from the bass.
Right. It's still a modern rootsy reggae.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Where
and
the
like
keyboards is covering a lot of stuff.
yeah. Yeah, and like I really love how they did that because I find that to be a tough struggle. How are you going to layer so many textures over with the keys and not take away from the heart of what it's supposed to be? And that whole entire time I was listening to that track, my head was just thumping to the bass line. Like I was following that bass line like it was the law, and it was awesome.
We've talked before about songs with multiple melodies happening at the same time,
Yep.
but it doesn't conflict. That's what's happening here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Which is interesting because like even though the synthesizer is doing like a more busy part, it's really just kind of playing a broken chord, which is kind of just creating this harmonic texture in the background. So it's not still taking the forefront. It's allowing the bass to still kind of drive the melody. And what's so interesting like about this? We talk so much about the heart of reggae being that drums and bass. Like I was so stuck on the bass as the main melody of this entire thing. I couldn't remember a melodic line vocally other than these sick harmonies that like Sara Lugo would like pop in with and do that would be like, oh my God, that's going on. Like, that's crazy. But like the way that the melodic structure was built complements the instrumentalization so well. You know what I mean? Like it really, like you have a lot of these just like you're on one note, you're just riding that note and you're riffing on that one note and you're spitting, you're getting those lyrics out, but you're not taking away from it so it could still be so instrumentally driven. I just felt like this whole thing was really, really well done. And like coming from a place of like, that's what I hear first when I'm listening to music is I'm listening to the instrumentalizations, I'm focusing on that, like makes me really want a dub version of this.
I mean, I've always said I want a dub version of everything.
Everything.
I thought there was a pretty good amount of dub throughout this track, which I really appreciated.
The dub was what added the depth, I feel like, in the layering. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That was what did it
gives it
for
a
me.
nice break to take a breath within the song.
Yes.
And then back to it,
See, and like
Or
this
back
is,
to it, but you don't add the skanks or anything, and
That-
it's drums and bass and vocals, and I love that too.
I love that. I actually think this is a really awesome opportunity to focus on that element of dub. I mean, when you think about dub, you think about adjusting a sound, changing the sound, giving like an echo on something like that, adding the reverb, creating that extra sound. But this is the case where the dubs were used for breath. It was used for space. It was used to open the piece up and to create that variety, to make you listen closer, And that
it basically
really
is a
great.
pre-verse. They're using it as a pre-verse,
Yep, absolutely.
right? Like a transition into something else, which
Absolutely.
I love. I love when reggae songs do that.
Same here. I feel like it creates more, I don't know if the word is suspense, but maybe tension, so that when you get to the release of when the full band comes back in, there's just something so satisfying coming back to that full sound after having moments away from it. You don't even really know what you're missing until it's gone. And I just love how this is structured and how this happens. I look at all this is what's so great about when we do these songs that only have like two chords throughout the entire thing, and like we're not talking about a complex chord structure, is we actually like there's still so much to break down. There's so much layering. There are so many textures, and there's so many things coming in and out that hold the listener's attention. Like I know for a fact this is going to be something I end up playing on loop for the rest of this vacation.
Probably.
Yeah.
We haven't even touched on the the vocals yet.
No, that is what, and like that's kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to like really dive into the instrumentals first, because if there's one thing that I love about Sara Lugo is her voice. You know,
well, duh.
I love her voice. It's just a timbre that I want to hear looped over reggae. I love what she does with her R&B stuff too. Definitely a different direction, but like, ooh, this is it. Like, this speaks to my soul in terms of just where it sits and what it does. And Daman is awesome on this too. Like the contrasting voices, like he brings a little bit of crunch and texture to what's happening lyrically, and I love that. I absolutely love that for this track.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with him. I just know he's based in Paris.
Awesome.
That's
awesome.
I hadn't heard any of his stuff before. But that's why I like these features. Where like you know somebody, you don't know the other one, and now you know both. You know?
Love it.
Kind of goes
doors
without saying,
opening.
but yeah, and I think Sara Lugo is currently based in France as well. She's from
Really?
Germany. Yeah. Her voice is crazy. I mean, you
It is.
mentioned her R&B stuff. She's perfect singing R&B stuff. And
She
it
is.
just translates into reggae. That's how I would put it.
I agree
It
with
just
that.
translates so
100%.
nicely. And this recording, the vocals, crystal clear.
Crystal clear. Crystal clear.
It's so nice. It's so clean. And then it's just dirtied up by some dub, which, come on, I love it.
Everything about this just screams awesome. Like, this is such a cool track, and it is so nice to kind of see her like double back and do some reggae stuff too. And like I said, I do love her R&B stuff. She just has that versatile voice and she knows where it sits. She knows where it sits, and she knows how to use it, and she's playing to her strengths with her voice when it comes to what she does, and she does it with ease. And I love it. There's something about like singers where what they do feels so natural. You know what I mean? Like, if they're just on a track, they feel like they could just exhale the perfect pitch no matter what, and they make the listener feel super comfortable. Sara Lugo always does that. She just has that. And I think it's just where the pocket of her voice sits with R&B and with reggae music in general, and just how she knows how to manipulate that and settle in for her melodies. It's a comforting sound for the listener, and you really can just get lost in it, which is exactly what happens in this track. And I think that Daman really does an awesome job complementing that. There is such a contrast in the timbre of their voices that makes this song so like, oh my God, I got to listen to this again. It's just, there's so much variety there.
Yeah, I have nothing to add. I couldn't have said it better. Yeah. I want to listen to it a few more times just to like understand all the layers and stuff, but I'm really digging this song. It is pretty new. Also, going back to like features and stuff, Sara Lugo, I think her first album had Protege on there, had Kabaka Pyramid on there, and that was like 2014, I want to say.
That's crazy.
Before, you know, I would say both of those artists really blew up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That's really cool, though.
And so she's done some really, really good reggae stuff in the past. But yeah, she also has like a catalog of R&B songs. If you're not familiar with Sara Lugo, highly, highly recommend going and checking her out. Check out her songs on streaming, because you'll see all the compilations and stuff she does, and features and guests and things. Great stuff. And if
really
you like
is.
this, definitely go back.
Yeah, and if you're not familiar with Sara Lugo, then I mean, just get used to what you're probably going to be listening on loop for the rest of the next couple months. Like, it's one of those, like, I feel like that's what happened to me when I got hooked on Sara Lugo. I was just like, every time I would drive, it was just Sara Lugo for like at least a solid, I want to say, month, at least a month.
Wow, nice.
Which is great. That's why, like, I'm so excited for this. It's probably exactly what's going to happen with this track too. So much depth here. I love doing this. I love when I have like a first listen through of a track and we're doing an episode on it, because I get to just like get excited about it, and then I get to share that excitement about it. So I really hope that everybody out there listening shares that same excitement for this track and these artists, because this is really cool. This is going to open up that loophole for me too. You know, the first thing that we're going to do when we're done is look up more stuff by Daman.
Yeah, definitely.
That's exactly.
I'm definitely doing that. Yeah.
You know, and like that's the like, guys, like we're here, we're talking about reggae music because we love it so much, but like we don't know everything about it. I mean, James knows close to everything about it. But I mean, I very much scratched the surface in terms of my intelligence and depth of what's out there in the world of reggae. So that's why opening these different doors for you guys and giving you new artists to listen to, it does the same thing for us. So if you guys are out there listening, we love that engagement. We love to hear from you guys. We love that feedback. So if there's some artists that you guys haven't seen us feature, please let us know about it, because there's probably a good chance we might not have heard about them either. It's very easy for all of these awesome artists to just slip under the radar, and we want to help discover, we want to help share and spread these artists to the rest of the world too. So please let us know what you're listening to out there too this summer and throughout these seasons, so we can get some of these awesome artists on here and feature it for other people to get down and go down these rabbit holes, because it's so much fun.
Yeah, and there's new music coming out all the time from artists I've never heard of. Like
Yep.
if you check out the Rootfire Release Radar playlists, there's like I don't know a lot of these artists, but I'm gonna listen to the playlist and get to know them, because there's just so much new music coming out. Not saying
It's
you're gonna
true.
like everything. I don't like everything, but I'll check it out.
Exactly. And how awesome is that Rootfire Radar playlist too? Just like the Rootfire Radar in general, just like coming out, letting everybody know what's new, just like put things on the map. I do love that. Like every time I get that little email notification, it's like, ooh, let's see what we can explore today. You know, it's super helpful.
You know who's on it this week, right?
Who?
Stepadelic.
Oh!
He released Nightlife, the single. It's on the release radar. I don't know by the time this airs what's going to be on there, but right now it is.
That's right. That is awesome, man. I'm so excited. I really hope we get to do an episode on that single. It is an awesome single. So if you guys haven't checked out that new Stepadelic track, please do. That's, again, all streaming platforms. You guys can go check that out. It is so awesome. Definitely want to have the guys on and break down the stories behind that track, too. You guys can find it also on that Rootfire Radar playlist and Rootfire Radar in general, those emails. So if you guys aren't on that Rootfire Radar, get yourselves on there so that you can figure out what's new and what's coming up, because it is an amazing tool to help spread what's out there in this world, this vast reggae world that we are all so excited to be a part of. You know, it's a great way to kind of unite all those thoughts, ideas, and tunes so into one place we can just find it and spread it easily. So definitely get on that.
Yes. Agreed. What he said.
Yeah. So, man, I love this. I love doing this. Enjoy the rest of this summer. Who knows when this episode is going to come out. So whatever season y'all are in, I hope you guys are enjoying it, enjoying the transitions. And as always, keep dubbing.
Thanks for listening to A Conversation in Dub, hosted by James Pasqua and Mark Raimondi. Conversation in Dub is brought to you by Rootfire, a platform for reggae music worldwide with a mission to empower artists and nurture the community that supports them. You're here because you love reggae music and want to be a part of that community? We're here to help you connect the dots.
This show is produced and edited by James Pasqua. Our theme music is an original composition called Keep Dubbing by James Pasqua and Mark Raimondi. If you want to hear previous episodes containing full songs, you can find them all on Spotify. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at A Conversation in Dub. And if you have any feedback, requests, or just want to talk about music, reach out there or email us at aconversationindub@gmail.com. Make sure to rate us on your podcast platform of choice. And as always, keep dubbing.